just to reiterate, most of my questions have already been answered in some form or another. We're residents on Gann Drive. We purchased our home roughly 7 years ago come September. When we purchased this home, it was with the intention of raising a family. Now, we've got a daughter that will be 2 come September. My concern with this annexation, now regardless, I understand if it's a county entity in itself, y'all have no say-so. I understand that. However, regardless, if this is going to be assembled as we've been told, with very little, haven't been really, more or less, we have not been told ahead of time up until the first reading was already done. Now, if this is to be assembled as it's been dictated thus far, as several other residents have said, you're looking at, from what we were told, 35 to 40 homes. And if that's the case, there's not enough land in what he's purchased for it to be half-acre lot, or, half lots or full lots, mind you, to encompass this. Now, with that number, if you figure, as some of the other residents have said as well, 2 vehicles per home, Gann Drive, the reason we bought on Gann Drive to raise our child was because there was not a lot of vehicular traffic, there was not a lot of foot traffic. Now, the safety of my child is my primary concern at this point. And I'm not against, expanding the neighborhoods as long as it follows the same layout that we have now. That's not a concern. Now, Gann Drive being a cul-de-sac as it sits now, that was the selling point. If we're adding X amount of homes back there, be it 35 or 40, and you figure 2 vehicles per home, that's up to 80 more vehicles that are going to be out in that area traveling at any given point in time. To handle that amount of vehicular traffic, I don't see Barfield sustaining that. Now, maybe I'm looking at this with the glass half empty at this point, but what I would actually foresee in the future would be that the small chicken wire fence that is at the end of Gann Drive would be demolished, and then they would expand and pave into it. I'm completely against that, and as several others have stated, we've been prepping our house to put on the market to do this. Now, I understand we can't put a stop to this regardless, and I'm not against the annexation if it is, as Mrs. Rock said, everything's going to be dictated where it's literally not walking outside and touching someone else's house.
Thank you.
If it follows the same format and layout, that's fine. I'm not against that. However, if it's going to be cramming that amount of people in one area, I've been a law enforcement officer for 7 years. Now, I've seen quite a bit within my
Thank you, Mr. Stanley. Your time is up.
Thank you, ma'am.